that a car door with handcuffs on it? It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It's really kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Hi, Gumshoe. Eek! Wah! Did they like punch each other? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Right, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room the yard says I knock yourself out, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans. You need floor plans for evidence room? Okay, very generic, I would say. Alright. Judge for a day. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day? That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using our findings from yesterday's investigation to prepare for the trial. In other words, Detective Gumshoe got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. And in my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Haha, of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now? Now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess-up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case, DL6? Yeah, that case. Oh, SL9, of course. That was the beginning of the end. For Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. Let's see. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so only one detective can open it. Using this ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yes, but even I can't lose my own right hand. So fingerprints. Right hand. Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. Each locker is coated with a fingerprint. And that's the only locker we can open. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand will be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Huh, interesting. So how can we get you to talk about SL9? Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone, because of the SL9 connection. That's what Mr. Edgeworth's first big case. No, that was Mr. Edgeworth's big first case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. SL9. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent, so it was a murder. Of course it was. A serial killing. Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with his transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So, the switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. Huh, interesting. Let's see if we can examine this. Oh, whoa, hang on, bloody handprint here. Ooh, what's this? Blood. It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room? We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Yeah, let us do just that. Allow me to say one thing, speaking of the detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Oh. But it's fine, pal. Okay, so that's not what I meant to do. How do I use the luminol, though? So how do I use the luminol? This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. Won't open. I guess I should have known. Hey pal, security's high tech around here. So I assume this... Look, this one's open, and there's an indicator tag stuck on it still. That locker is coded with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. How? Somebody must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on these pieces here? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this place looks pieces like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Sweet. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Nope. Oh. Huh. There we go. I wish there was just a way you could like see that same shape on the top screen on the bottom screen. That would make it just a little bit easier. There we go. It's obviously some sort of vase. What the heck is this? What the heck is that thing? It's missing a piece, though. Huh? Well, I think we did it. Some of the pieces are missing. That only took me 2 minutes to do. Problem is finishing it. Were some of the pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Stale. It doesn't look like most stable kind of jar. Kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar. Well then. Okay, so now what? Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal. Maybe some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. SL9, you does still have a tag on it. Rubber glove. All we really know about this case is that it was a serial murder. That's about it. What is a saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the blue badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room? Alright, so now what else is there? You put these pieces together and mix a jar. There are two things that are bothering me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. So what else is that? This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. I guess I should have known. Should I show Gumshoe this? Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record for the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? That was very unexpected, actually. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Well, didn't mean to click on that. ID... Item lost. Didn't really say what was lost, was it? That's the photo that Miss Starr took. Anything you can tell us about it? That Miss Starr is quite the lady. Why, I remember it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened. 16? That's how old I am now. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe wore a trench coat in high school too. This is my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal. Art? He was dancing proudly on the day of the award ceremony, but there was a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the blue badger away for a while. Really? Why? Oh, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day. I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. You can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Maybe I can check the unstable jar a little bit more. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? The tag says SL911. Guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, sag. Sag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What, are we playing a word game now? Oh, okay, wow, I didn't even see that spray. Okay. Aha. There must have been a massive amount of blood here. Never seen so much before. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker is mine. It's yours? Please, you have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Is there any other luminol? Was like any more blood? Oh, here we go. What is that part of? Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Ema? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to give them my report for the day. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Yeah, it might be a good idea. Hello, Mr. Marshall. Excuse me. Oh, nice to see you're still here. High Prosecutor's Office. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. You? Ah, yes, my apologies. What are you still doing here? Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Ah, it's you. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? Precisely. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh yes, he brought me some information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the proceeding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I've nothing to be ashamed of. But still, wow, never seen him this out of sorts. Anything I can present to you, Edgeworth? Such as why your ID was here? Oh, right, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? Screwdriver, he wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it there here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have been already in evidence, was already filed, whatever. The chief has never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence. Screwdriver. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Any idea what this is? Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on, anyway? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some reaction. I know you. Probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do on that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who received the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. A bad memory. I was talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Yeah, maybe we can finally figure out what the heck this SL9 incident is. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then. He was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. Excuse me, I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? You still working on that scientific investigation? Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid? Well then, you might have use for this. What is that? Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. Ah. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and take these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Alright, fingerprint set. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Alright, so now we have fingerprint powder. So, let us go. I think... Oh, she's gone. Yeah, I think I know the suspicious handprint he's talking about here. Maybe. Alright. February 23rd, Evidence Room, Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood in the detective's evidence locker. Let's use this secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So, let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. I think I'm gonna have to go with this one. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do we do that? Just touch the screen. See? Ah, looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? You just blow, with your breath. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks fun. Might take some getting used to though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. I don't remember what exactly I have this set to blow on. I think it might be M though. Maybe? There we go. Okay, so it was M. Aha! You did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck. The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. I did see this right here. Well, seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find clear prints. Fingerprints outside the blood. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Alright, sprinkle, 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 sprinkly sprinkles. And... there we go, that's a fingerprint. Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to do that? Know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Gumshoe. Yep. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, actually. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Of course we want to check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? You only ended up finding it with using chemical means. Any prints in that will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, you must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Let's go. Oh, okay, so like here, area. Alright, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Sweet. Alright, so let's see here. No. Marshall? Huh. That's quite interesting, actually. Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Ema. These are decisively different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh! So, we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. Interesting. But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Wow, that was a very long one. This is definitely going to be a two-parter, I can give it that. That was a lot in that last hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. So as we just found out, Marshall was clearly involved somehow, because his fingerprint was on a bloody, wiped up handprint, I guess, on the locker. And yeah, this case is definitely going to take a good turn. I assume next part's going to be the trial, so we'll have to see how that turns out. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, comment what you thought, subscribe to my channel for the next part when that's out. Be sure to check out some of my other videos, and remember to stay awesome. See ya!